And here we go. There it is. So we got a remaster. It's called Reforged. And I'm not surprised, because if you've been following what's happening in Blizzard, in the classic games section, they were hiring staff, either someone from the section or the lead of that department, or the section as I call it, wouldn't say teased, but hinted at a possible rework or possibility of a rework. And this is what we got, and it looks good. I have a few nitpicks. They're not complaints, because I'm glad that they did do a remaster with, different graphics, probably for better graphics, and also sounds. Those are a subject to remastering. And the nitpicks would be that, well, actually they're not that many, but they're like substantial to me. So, first things first. This is one thing that I think Activision Blizzard got right. It's looking good, other than a few cases where it looks very cartoony. But I think that the fact it looks cartoony is because I haven't watched the stream, so I don't know if it was played there with or without shades. I keep saying shades, it's shadows. With or without shadows. And I think that I've seen screenshots without shadows and with shadows. I also think that the trailer for the remaster is without shadows, the gameplay one. And I think that the shadows add they add depth to the field of view, and that they do quite a lot when it comes to being or not being cartoony, I would say. So but that's the thing. The gameplay trailer has a note somewhere around the start, like what, 12th to 18th second. This is a work in progress. They are subject to a possible change. So, props to them for getting this one right. And well, I forgot what else I wanted to say. So off to the second nitpick. So let me just add it, because remember, screen capture doesn't work if I don't have a NVIDIA GPU. Damn it, it's not what I wanted to do. Yep. Window, great. Firefox. There we go. Don't mind that. So there. Pretty sick GIF, isn't it? I only have a few nitpicks with this. About this one as well. But other than that, it looks cool, looks great. Oh, right, I remembered what were the other nitpicks. There. I have a few nitpicks, and probably it's the mouse maybe will appear somewhere around this window, because it's for some reason there's the problem where I can't capture screen, so I just gotta do window capture every time. I get that this is him after he took up the Frostmourne, after he got Grim, him being Arthas, and his soul was scarred at this point, etc. Like, there's a kind of a disconnection between what he looks in the shop, and what he looks in game. In game, he looks as I said, cartoony. But maybe it's whatever. We'll have to wait and see how they make him look. If they leave him to look like this in the shop forever, and in the game like that as well, or if there's gonna be changes. Because in here he looks more like the portrait or the paladin avatar in Hearthstone, where it doesn't have all blonde hair. He has some kind of some parts of his hair are black, if I'm not mistaken. Or they look like, in Czech you would say dirty blonde. I'm not sure whether that's a term in English or not. And well, that's all about him. And as for the units, farms, buildings look great, phenomenal job there. Models as well. And I wonder, because some of them seem to have taken, I wouldn't say inspiration, but I know they're Blizzard games and that they're borrowing from each other, especially when it comes to Heroes of the Storm. And this seems to me like it was a direct inspiration from there. But on the contrary, Uther wasn't a direct inspiration from. Maybe his armor, yeah, but his head is, in my opinion, here it looks a lot smaller than the head he has Heroes of the Storm. So, I wonder whether these things will stay like this, and whether some heroes will retain, whether they will have a, not specific, but actually, yeah, if they'll have a specific visual look in Warcraft versus Heroes of the Storm. Because Blade Master looks like he's gonna be very similar to Heroes of the Storm, but Uther. Sorry, this isn't Uther. This is gotta take him as a paladin versus the paladin, who in Warcraft had the same model as Uther. So, actually no, there was. Fuck! I'm starting to mix things. I know Uther had a different voice set of lines, and that he probably had a few visual differences than from a paladin, but I'm starting to mix things. So overall, what I want to say, to give a conclusion, a great job. I think Activision Blizzard got this one right. Props to the classic games department, classic games section, whatever it's called. I think it's one of those two, not sure which, that's why I put both in. And that's enough for this one. Yeah, the mouse is, whatever. And back to this one, and what I want to say here is, the GIF is sick. I just wish there were, because Arthas didn't purge the Strapholm himself, and this is trying to go for a dramatic, view, which it is. It looks nice. I would only want to hope. I would want to see some units in the back, like rounding up, a sergeant shouting at a bunch of footmen, for example. A captain, Folaric for perhaps, because he was a thing. In Warcraft, he was this one captain who kept appearing in cinematics. And in World of Warcraft, he was one of the two bosses before the Lich King. Actually, there were more bosses, but I mean, one of the two captains, which Arthas presumably had when he was traveling across Lordaeron and then across Northrend. So maybe like Folaric shouting on one side at the footmen, and the other, I forgot his name, shouting at like a regiment of riflemen or whatever. Units rounding in the back. Could have also perhaps been some crates of infected grain on the sides, or like, just because this is really trying to go for the dramatic side, and I kind of wish they made it more Warcrafty, because it doesn't, because I haven't played the remaster of Warcraft 3. I only played and I still do, the regular version, the one with old graphics. This reminds me more of World of Warcraft than of Warcraft 3. So I think that adding a few footmen, a captain, units rounding up, and things like that, the crates, because destructibles are a huge part of Warcraft 3. They always were. Sorry, not always. They were. Oh yeah, of Warcraft 3, yes, but of previous Warcrafts, I don't recall many destructibles other than, walls and trees. And they weren't really destructible. You needed a specific unit or a worker. Not like, crates, tents, and like, that's what I mean. So maybe, but you wouldn't set up a tent in the middle of a burning forest, would you? Yeah, so just like units in the back, crates around, but that's just aesthetics, that's just me being a nitpick, and this whole video was a nitpick video. I'll make sure to put that into the title. Other than that, great work, great job, well done, and I'll have to wait and see how it turns out in the final version in 2019. Yeah, whether it's gonna be early 2019, I think that's not. Maybe that could be the case, but I think it's more like mid-2019 to the end of 2019. When it comes out, I'll probably either buy it or I'll pre-purchase it. And I'll go through the campaign again, and it's gonna be an amazing time, I hope. Wondering where will I be in a year. If it's gonna happen closer to the end of 2019. Whether I'll still be studying the university and such. Anyway, that's all from me. I'll be recording a Warcraft video later today, and I'll see you in the next one.